Hello, 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 welcome back. How are you feeling today? Happy to be here, happy to have you guys. Welcome to Crypto News. How you doing? How are you doing? Welcome. Hey, how's it going? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? How are we feeling today? Hey yo, roll the intro! That's right, I was actually getting that set up. I'm figuring out how to set up to where we can roll the intro. What up, what up? Soon we'll be rich! Hey yo, how's it going? Jose Luis. Mo, Praxis Media Group. Yo bro, what's up Praxis? I think you missed our second live stream, but I was shouting out everyone that gave us some super chats. And you were on that list. Your name's on this list, bro. It's backwards. You can't read it. But Praxis Media Group, bro. I want to say thanks again for my first live stream. You were pretty supportive. Yeah, me too, bro. I'm gonna get that T-shirt made first, and I'll wear it. What's up? What's up? Hello from Nashville. Hey, how's it going, Nashville? What's up? How are you guys feeling today? Yeah. The interesting news of the day is our boy David Schwartz talking smack. I'm sure you guys might have already heard if you're on Twitter, and if you guys are up early or if you were up late last night, the bank's unlikely to apply blockchain for cross-border payment near future. No! Why? Why'd they make this article? Why is David Schwartz talking about this? Honestly, I think that he's at least being honest. He's not trying to lie or pull one over on anybody. He's just being honest, honestly. Honestly, he's being honest. He just wants to make sure everyone knows that the likelihood of banks using this ledger is decreasing, he says. So, yeah. How can they talk crap? Exactly, yeah. Next on the list is the Western Union. The Western Union guy. He's over here talking smack about them not saving money. Which is crazy because if you read the article, if you actually go read it, they didn't do very many tests. Where is it? They didn't do that many tests. They just basically said they ran a few tests, and they're now thinking that it's not saving them money. So they made some announcement. Where is it? Okay, let's just go back to this one. The Ripple and Western Union pilot, everyone knows it was a really big deal. It was taken out of context, exactly. 10 tests. I know, Mo. I already read it. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Mantis? Yeah, I agree. It was taken out of context, and I think what's interesting, too, is that they're literally talking about using it for 10 tests while they're doing, like, millions of transactions a day, right? So they're not really testing it fully. They're keeping all their old traditional systems, and they're also testing the Ripple system, and so I can't say it's a very conclusive test. Yeah, it does say at the bottom that they're committed to Ripple either way, and there's good news and bad news in the same article. I agree. I think that people just grabbed that bad headline. What up, Meowgi? Cheers. How are you today? I think people just grabbed that bad headline and they just ran with it because you know how they do. You know how they like to spread that FUD. So as soon as someone saw that potential FUD spreading opportunity, they took it. And I think that it's obviously kind of silly, but there is some reality with Western Union denying Ripple, making them money in some sense, at the same time as David Schwartz talking about banks possibly not wanting to use open ledgers. Blockchain ledgers, open ledgers, and we've talked about that before. Why, like R3's Corda or Quantum or Consortium or whatever, why those are potentially more likely to be used for banks is because it does offer them private channels. Right? What's up? What's up, Nicholas? Yeah, clickbait headline for sure. Yes, indeed. Stop sugarcoating. What am I sugarcoating? Ripple's going below 50 cents. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what I'm getting to. Even if we know it's beautiful and amazing, it's an amazing token. Even if we know all these things, the combination of these two headlines together is going to be, I think, a slight downtrend for XRP specifically, and in general, the entire crypto market, is up a little bit since yesterday. We're not back to 300 billion. We're up to 275. We saw yesterday Cardano reverse first, I think, and hit a little run, and then Ripple hit a reversal. And Cardano and XRP were both looking pretty good, headed up the list, and everything's kind of turned back a little bit. Bitcoin's lost a little bit of its dominance and is down slightly. And I actually think that this is okay. Yeah, exactly. The CEO saying it's not saving them money is FUD. We're going to do another regular video later today so that you guys can get your usual, the intro, the outro, all the edits, and some fun cuts in between. But this is we're going to try to start doing these more. We're going to try to figure out a time that works for everyone. So we're doing an early one today. We might do another late one because we did 2 live streams yesterday. We might do 2 again today until we figure out what time works for everybody. So comment a time if this one doesn't work. This is a 10 a.m. where I am, so we started a few minutes late. It was like 10:08 or 10:05. Now Western Union says they're not going to use XRP. I don't think that they said that. I think that they said they're committed to testing it still, but they're saying it's not saving them money, which is also possibly not true because they're not utilizing it. They're not utilizing it during its full. They're not utilizing it alone. They're still using their traditional payment systems, and they're trying to use XRP, and then they're claiming like it's not working. So, yeah. What about Garlinghouse comments on major banks going to use XRapid? I think that's real. I think that's potentially a possibility still. MoneyGram and Western Union might start to realize like, oh, this is we are not going to be able to succeed either way. They might be pulling back because they're just worried about the failure of their business and they're trying to protect themselves. Alex Cobb said he's upset with me. That's okay. What is he, like 12? I'll live. I'll live with Alex Cobbs being upset with me. That's okay. He seems nice. I like that kid. I actually just saw him for the first time the other day. I have no problem with him and his contribution, but I'm not worried about it. Yeah, just driving home. Perfect. This is a great time. All right, let's do it. 10 a.m. here. I'm actually in a different time zone, too, so 10 a.m. for me is not the same for him. Don't bash Alex. Oh, no. Hey, Praxis Media Group. Thanks, bro. Thanks. What's up, dude? What is the... Yeah, perfect time for the West Coast. All right. Nice. Yeah, so the market's tipped up a little bit. We've seen a strike run. Are you worried about David's speech? No, I think David's being honest. I think David Schwartz is being 100% honest, and I like that about him. He's not trying to like overhype his product. He's saying, as of right now, I don't think banks are going to be using it because it doesn't have the private option. Blockchain, as we know, the use case of blockchain is that it's an open ledger, so we can all see all the channels, all the data points, all the movements. So he's saying banks aren't going to like that because banks want a private channel. That's why R3's Corda or whatever, that's not even a blockchain at all, that they're calling a blockchain, is potentially more useful for financial institutions because it has private channels. If you're a bank and you're sending money, you want these private channels because that's how you've been doing it forever. It keeps you feel pretty good about that. Yeah, exactly. The XRapid pilot tests for institutions that did use it. So looking at the financial institutions that did use XRapid in its entirety and didn't just half XRP test and half traditional system test, they did experience savings. So exactly. The only 2 tests that Western Union did was just between US fiat and the peso, the Mexican peso, and they only did 10 tests there. So it wasn't that big a deal. I can't imagine that being a very conclusive test. I imagine this more likely being a type of FUD that they push out at the same time as David Schwartz's article about how banks might not use it gets pushed out, and the price will drop probably, I would say, at least below 50 cents, 48 cents, hoorah, here we come. And then you might see people move in. And I think someone said in a comment yesterday, I forget who exactly said it, but they said, yeah, they're just trying to clear the way for those big investors to step into the space and have a good low entry point. Why do they seem to crash when they're listed on Binance? Probably because a lot of the token holders are selling out and making a buck, would be my guess. So when they add it to Binance right away, there's probably a lot of sells happening, or a lot of they list it at a certain price and it's not supported at that price and it drops. There's a lot of different things happening. Hello from Ireland. Hello. Hello. We need to stick to our guns. Exactly. Yeah. If you believed in it before, you should believe in it now. Hello from the UK. Hello. Hello. Sell XRP and run. Mexican cartel keeping XRP down. How dare they? How dare they? Sell high, buy low. Buying more today. Yeah, like that. Exactly, Mega Hash. Exactly. So even though it's up right now and the market's green right now, I see this as potentially a false flag green run. It might be taken away from us pretty quick. It might sink back down, and we could lose this green and see us hit below 50 cents on our Ripple. It could happen. Buy XRP and smile. I agree. Just keep buying in the dips. No stress, no worries. Even if the banks decide to not use XRP entirely, it still holds true utility. It's still a very strong, neutral, interoperable blockchain. And even with us losing the banks, even if 100% of the banks bailed, I would still be a big XRP supporter because of the foundation it offers to the Internet of Value, the Internet of Value moving forward. And that's one of the things that is interesting to look at with David Schwartz talks about the future of cryptocurrencies. He has a bunch of different, kind of paradoxically opposing articles out right now. He talks about the future of cryptocurrencies. He talks about the future of adoption for the Internet of Value, and he talks about the banks not wanting to use blockchain. So David Schwartz, man, he's all over the place. He's just out there doing his thing. So a lot of the articles that are running today are XRP isn't making Western Union's payment cheaper. And if you read through, obviously you can tell that there's a lot of misinformation in the headline, but I don't think that matters as much as the headline itself. People are probably just going to read that headline and run with it. So potentially, even though we know a lot of banks are saving money using the XRP system, this headline is going to take away from that. And them only doing 10 payments using XRapid to date and then saying that it's not saving them money is just silly. Honestly, it's completely silly. Yeah, there's no way this is the lowest point. Hope we all forget about XRP like 50 Cent did when his Bitcoin years from now. Exactly. 10 tests. That should be the headline. Exactly. 10 tests. And they do millions a day. They do millions of transactions a day. So for them to claim it's not saving them money is ridiculous. Looking further down the article, you can see that companies that are using XRapid in its entirety are saving 40 to 70% on their payroll or on their books. So I think that Ersic, the CEO of Western Union, said that their partnership is still working and they're still happy to work with XRP. He said that they're very good people who are very innovative. So, he's saying that at the same time as he's saying it's not working. And CNN did an interview with David Schwartz on the vision of the Internet of Value. And you can see how even with banks maybe no longer thinking like they want to use the XRapid system or Xcurrent system, it doesn't really matter. It might be a longer wait, but the potential of the XRP ledger is only increasing as time goes on with the use of Internet of Value moving forward. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what is Western Union doing? They saved 1 cent. Nice. Yeah, we're still going to go to the moon. We're not going to go to the moon. We're taking laps. We're going to the moon and taking laps on the moon. That's right. Earth to moon, Earth to moon. Are you out there? Can you hear me? Let's look at a couple more things before we close up for the day and get out of here. We had Walmart today talking about adding a Bitcoin-powered electrical grid. So that's kind of a big news. Imagine Walmart Power. Imagine having Walmart. Walmart's got a bunch of money, and they're just now they're probably realizing like we need to do something to stay in the forefront of industry, and they're making a pivot. They're making a pivot to energy providers tied to blockchain. So imagine setting up basically an energy consumption cost blockchain for different appliances that you have in your house, and you can put them up to a certain specific amount of BTCs. They reference Bitcoin in the headline, but they said that they'd be happily using Bitcoin, an altcoin, or a derivative Bitcoin, or any digital currency. So they don't have any specific ties to one blockchain or crypto, but they are saying they envision, the patent that they put out envisions a Bitcoin-powered electrical grid. And I think that's pretty big. This is really strong use case for anyone in blockchain looking at like, well, all the coins are looking pretty solid. If we look at the market's down to about 275 billion, it was like 100 billion last year before the bull run, and we are seeing companies like Walmart say, I'm going to make Bitcoin blockchain grid, electric grid. That's big. That's really big. I'm not going to say for sure. They're going to pick XRP, but it's a pretty good pick. It's a pretty good pick. I mean, XRP, Stellar, ADA, those are probably higher picks than Bitcoin at this point. Once they start looking at the technology involved for their system, their Internet of Value system, the power on demand electrical grid. So potentially no 589. I doubt that we will lose momentum here. People might say like, oh no, I did say at the beginning of this video, we might lose some momentum for our end of year price for XRP, but I wouldn't say for sure. If Walmart decides to use a blockchain for power and they decide to pick XRP Ledger, that would almost completely replace the need for the banks to hit that high price point. I would never be the owner of a company and get into BTC as China owns more than 50% of the miners. Exactly, yeah. So they're going to look at it and they're going to realize, well, Bitcoin's not the best choice. They said Bitcoin maybe because that's the key word that people know. If I say Bitcoin, people know I mean cryptocurrency. If I say cryptocurrency, people might not know what I'm talking about. If I say XRP, people might not know what I'm talking about. But as long as I say Bitcoin, they might. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think Western Union, Adrian, that's a good point. I think Western Union realizes that. They realize that we could just be doing it without them. So they might just be trying to keep the customers they have. They're trying to just like keep the ones they have instead of losing them to other methods of payment transfer. Exactly. Yeah, if Walmart picked up the XRapid system or XRP Ledger in general, then Western Union would have a pity party with Swift. That's true, Ed French. That's true. Ed, I agree it. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was pretty exciting. A lot of things happening all the time in blockchain technology with big companies repositioning themselves to make moves in that direction. I can't imagine us dropping too much further in market, but again, people are calling a 5K Bitcoin, and so we might see everything follow suit. Everything drops just a little bit further as people are still repositioning themselves, and the whales are trying to figure out how the regulations are going to sink in. Also, the SEC, the Thai SEC put out regulations for cryptocurrencies. I don't know if you guys saw that. Hey, Robert Lee! Thanks, man. Cheers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just trying to keep everyone informed. Very exciting times here. The new era of Thai crypto traders has put a lot of pressure on Security Exchange Commission regulators around the world, and the Thai SEC has put forward what they consider licensing requirements for securities, or for digital asset securities for ICOs and cryptocurrencies in general. They basically allowed 7 major cryptos. I don't know why I put air quotes. It seemed important. They basically picked Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ripple, and Stellar, and Ethereum Classic as 7 coins that were chosen to promote that do not promote privacy. They have better liquidity and a consensus credibility. What that means is basically they are letting they're releasing the pending regulations that people need to be an ICO, to be an exchange, to be selling securities, to be buying securities, all that stuff. And they move forward with it, and they made a call. And I think that's exciting. I think that's important that they are willing to make a stand. And honestly, looking through it, it looks pretty legit. It looks pretty basic. There's obviously some hefty fees for the exchanges and stuff like that, but I think that they would pay it happily to be in regulator clarity. Brad needs to tweet something so that clown CEO stops fudding. Well, here's the thing. Is as much as it might hurt us in the moment, we might be like, no, don't spread the FUD. Don't do it. As much as we want to say that, there's almost no bad publicity. So it could almost be to the benefit to have people talking like this right now. Even if they are XRP supporters, they could be like, oh no, and then they have a conversation and the news spreads. So, maybe Brad won't, maybe he won't make an announcement until after a few more hours, or until maybe tomorrow or something. Maybe he'll never address it. Maybe it'll never come out. But yeah, it's very interesting to think about the why would they, coordinate this in a sense, having the Western Union CEO talk about not making money, right as David Schwartz is talking about banks not using Ripple. I think we just can expect maybe another price drop because of this, even though it's not necessarily true, even though we know a lot of banks are already signing up to use Ripple, the XRP ledger. Potentially, I think David's just being honest with us. And I said this earlier in the video, if you guys just joined us, if you just tuned in, I respect David Schwartz for just being honest. He's not trying to lie. He's not trying to smudge the lines. He just wants to be honest, and he's saying that as of right now, banks are not that likely to use these open ledgers entirely because they want to keep their transactions private. They want to have a private ledger in a sense. So he's just being honest, and I think that's something that is interesting to look at. Yeah, cunning games. Yeah, exactly. Cunning games. Indeed. And there was another thing that I thought was interesting. If you guys are into the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash debate, there's the Bitcoin Core coin was launched, and we did a little bit of this mentioning in another video where we talked about Bitcoin for a second, but this is interesting. If you guys didn't realize, the whole Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash debate has been run for a while. So a group of the Bitcoin community started a new fork called Bitcoin Core to prevent Roger Ver and his cohorts from calling Bitcoin Bitcoin Core, because now it's its own coin. It's kind of funny. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that keeping it private is greater than saving them millions of dollars. I'm saying that he's addressing the likelihood that right now, they might not. Banks might choose to keep it private for a moment. Millions of dollars equals double, triple digit millions. It's true. No, I mean, it's true. And as we said before, it's just one of those things where, it might be the standard of the industry for a minute. People might be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to keep it private. And then someone else does use the XRP ledger. And then someone else, that company starts making massive gains. Their company is taking off because they're offering innovation, they're saving themselves money, they're saving their customers money, and that can only happen for so long until they too decide to be like, well, I guess that's it, we got to use XRP. You're at a deep loss. You bought 300 XRP at $3, now the price is 50 cents. Okay. I can relate to that. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I think a lot of people bought XRP at $3, and I think everyone's at the same price right now. It's at 50 cents. So I always remind myself that if I was willing to purchase it at $4 or $3, then I should still be excited about purchasing it at 50 cents. If I saw the utility in it at $3, then I would likely still see utility in it at 50 cents. I would see more utility in it at 50 cents, and I would almost feel blessed to have an insider scoop, in a sense, of this token, this digital asset, before it actually reaches its value, before it actually reaches its true value. I agree. This is a very cool shirt. I do. I love Zappa. Do a kung fu backflip followed by a dragon kick. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Dead flag. Just do it right now. And done. Did you see it? It was fast. I know. So, if you, yeah, exactly. If you're willing to buy it at $3, then I think it's exciting to buy it at 50 cents. I'd buy more. In fact, if you bought another $300 worth at 50 cents, you could average the two between each other and say you bought it at whatever the average is of that, like 125 or something. I don't know. Yeah, you're confused why David Schwartz would say that. He knows a heck of a lot better than me, but I lean towards banks eventually adopting blockchain international. I think he just wants to be honest. I think David Schwartz is a really cool guy, and I think he's really just trying to be honest with the community that he sees resistance from banks. I mean, he's having conversations. He's in the room with these conversations, with these people talking about this. So he probably knows, people want this, people are excited about this, but they're also hesitant. They're also resistant. And that leads us to our next article. This article says that Ripple Solutions not saving for money transfers until now. So it leaves the until now at the very end of the headline. That was interesting. So this article, Western Union deny Ripple offering, it talks about how basically the CEO of Western Union, he's a believer that traditional currencies are going to win out. So he thinks that fiat currencies are going to be more, people want them more than cryptocurrencies, is what this article says, basically. He thinks that there's too much of a social norm attached to the national identity of fiat currencies. And I can see that's a reality, especially for maybe our parents or our parents' parents. And I mean, there's definitely no way they're going to be like, I want to hold this virtual money. Like they're probably going to feel pretty attached to their US dollar. But I think moving forward, and as we all start to look at what's really happening, I think we'll have less and less of this attachment to national identity and social norms and more of an attachment to survival because that's what's going to happen pretty much. Like fiat currencies are destined to die. They're destined to continually devaluate themselves. They're going to be worth nothing at the end of the day. And inside our lifetime, I always talk about the same few spiels. So if you hear it already, I'm sorry, I'm not going to save you from it. You just have to listen more. Inside our lifetime, fiats have lost 80% of their value. 80% of their value. That's insanity, okay? Imagine if we had been holding a currency our whole life that didn't lose value. Maybe it even appreciated value. I know, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to think about. So his attachment to fiat and Ursik, who's the CEO of Western Union, his attachment to traditional currencies is the reason he's pushing. These are the reason he's making these statements. In fact, tell me what you think about, and I'll tell you who you are. That's an old Zen saying. And it's really simple to see. Like, listen to anyone talk to you about anything. What they tell you, what the words that come out of their mouth tell you who they are. And you can see exactly from this statement, him denying the XRP use case and its usefulness and as its utility, him denying that has more to do with his personal beliefs about crypto and fiat, and a lot more to do with his personal beliefs and almost nothing to do with his ability to have foresight into the technological sphere. So, yeah, quantum computing is gonna do that. I agree. Proof of work crypto will be in an interesting place once that happens. And what's that law that talks about the astronomical snowball effect of computing in general? So I didn't sell, and a big mistake buying Ether and not using it. Never hold Ether. Okay. You practice Lung Feng, Tong Feng, Kung Fu under Grandmaster Hukil. Very cool, my friend. Very cool. When do I think the next bull run starts? I think that the next bull run could easily start once we basically make it a few more dodgy steps across the pond. So we're jumping from stone to stone trying to get across this pond right now. We're probably going to slip and fall in a few more times, which means like we've seen a little bit of an uptick today. Yeah, exactly. Wait till 5K BTC. I've seen a little bit of uptick till today, but I think especially with the news, this headline, even though it's not really real, and I think especially with David Schwartz talking about banks not using XRP, XRP will probably have a little bit of a downtick, and probably a lot of the other coins will slip as well until we see clarification as to what's going to be happening with XRP as security or not. I think people are really wondering about that. What system of Kung Fu do you practice? I grew up doing Weche Ryu, which is an Okinawan style martial arts where I do one form for 3 years while the teacher walks around and hits me over and over again. And then I moved on to doing American Karate and Judo, and then I did Qigong, and then I did Shaolin Kung Fu, and I did Animal Forms, and Tai Chi Chuan, and Bagua Zhang, and then I did a little bit of Xing Yi. Okay? That's about it. And I started just blending them all together and making my own style. And that'll be out soon. Why not? So that's about all we're going to do. I just want to keep you guys in the loop and try to make this video a little bit not an hour. We're going to try to make the video not an hour long. And that's about it. Western Union, basically, this other article talking about Western Union versus this integrated device technology as a stock investment. People are talking about that. It was a quick article you can check out. I'll put in the sources. Obviously, the Ripple XRP making Western Union's payment cheaper isn't happening, is a headline everywhere. So that's a big thing today, just to keep fighting that news back in a sense, but maybe letting it tip XRP's price for us so we can acquire some more at a lower price if you bought at $3 and then maybe wait for that 48 cents or 25-cent buy-in. XRP, again, I think will drop more because of this, and I think BTC will be headed towards 5K, at least under 6, even though I know people are like, it's going to be above 6. I saw an article that was Bitcoin above 6, but how long will it stay? And I don't know where it went, but I don't think it'll stay up there that long. I think that we might see another slip. So looking at all the news today with, looking at all the news today with this David Schwartz and Western Union mix-up, and then also with Walmart talking about them releasing some type of electrical grid tied to blockchain. I think things are still good. Things are still looking up, and I'm not phased. I'm not phased at all. But exactly, it's a patience is key. Everyone wants immediate results. What are you going to do with immediate results? What are you going to do with them? Imagine that you already were as rich as you wanted right now, and feel that abundance, feel that amazing support of your financial stability, and move forward in your day as if you already have that. If you're holding, however many XRP and you're feeling faithful that it'll go up to, $100, $600, $1,000, then just take care of those tokens as if they're already worth that. You already have acquired these tokens, so you're good to go. Everything's kind of transitional phase. Obviously, I don't think even if we lost the full support of banks, I don't think it'd be that big of a blow to the actual ledger in the long run. So looking at closing this video, happy to keep you guys in the loop. A lot of FUD today, so David Schwartz, don't be mad at him. I think he's just trying to be honest. And the Western Union CEO, definitely you can be mad at him. He's a fool. He has no idea what he's talking about. So thanks everybody for tuning in. It was a pleasure to see you all. Of course, it's a pleasure to be here. Ready for the world currency by 2018. Exactly. So I'll see you guys soon. I'll do a video later today. We'll do a edited video so you get your intro and outro, and then I think we're gonna try to figure out how to do the intro in the live stream. We should be able to play it and get it in here. But looking forward to seeing you guys next time. As always, have a great day. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that like button, and I will see you soon. Have a great day. Until then.